Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Broverwatch podcast. My name is Adam Cook, and as always, I am joined here by Calder Amos Wood. Calder, say hello to the kids.
Hello, how are you, kid?
This, of course, is the podcast where we delve into Overwatch League-related news and games, but we're in the off-season. There's no games happening right now, so it's all news. And we've got some good stories for you. Finally, some actual news is coming out.
Some official releases from teams.
Some official signings of teams.
We're filling in the holes of these lineups that Michael told us about.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy your stay. And if you do, come back next time.
Hope you're cozy. I hope we give you a nice blankie to sleep on.
Before we get started, we should preface this by saying we are recording this on Friday the 19th because I'm not going to be available for Monday when we usually record. Mm-hmm. So if any news comes out Friday night or Saturday or Sunday or Monday.
Or Tuesday.
Well, no, because we upload Monday usually.
Wednesday?
We'll just cover that in the next episode, which I will be home for. Or here for.
Oh, you don't consider
the point is, if anything comes out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll cover it next episode. But let's get into the actual news that is from this week. Starting off with my browser just glitched up a little bit. Starting with the Seoul Dynasty have signed 3 players and a coach. Nope. Yep. 3 players and a coach.
There we go.
Got him.
The coach is Why Not, and then they've also signed an off tank in Michelle, a main tank in Marvel, probably Marvel, and then main healer Jesse, who notably Michael called out for declining an offer because he wanted to be on a more Korean team.
Yeah, which Jesse then said, no.
Nope, not true.
And then joined a full Korean team. Although, one could argue it is possible that Michael was wrong and that wasn't the case, and he is also on a Korean team. It just, he wasn't like, I'm only on a Korean team.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
No, we don't. And we also don't know what happens, how Michael knows what goes on behind the scenes. But
Baby Bay.
But how does Baby Bay know? Well, you think these guys went, hey, Baby Bay, just a heads up, going over to Seoul?
Baby Bay is the commissioner. Assistant commissioner. Assistant to the regional commissioner.
Oh, my gosh. This is good. Because Seoul was looking like just the same team as last year, but with Fissure now, which was kind of just like cool. But you don't have much depth right now. It's just a team that disappointed last year, plus a guy that did well.
Mm-hmm. But the team looks good now. I'm excited for this team, which we'll get into later in the show. Later on in the show, we're going to get into that.
We're going to get into that later. That's called a tease. I think Seoul is looking pretty good.
Maybe make up some sort of playoff stage or
I think worst case scenario they are around the area that Houston was.
Just out.
I think they're going to. Although I guess that's where Seoul was too last season.
Yeah.
Although what I'm saying is it'll be more impressive if they do that this season because there's more teams. So if they just didn't make it, it means they're still beating more teams than they did last year. I think they're going to be a stronger team is what I'm saying.
I say they make the playoffs.
I say that.
The top 12 have a chance. The top 8 make it in. 8 or 6. We talked about this before. And then there's some wild card teams that could get in.
Yeah.
Too. So I could see them being on the edge of the top of the wild card, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see them. I could see that being like the story where it's like, man, Seoul is always in the wild card, but they always pull it through.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
So it's the top 6 get into the playoffs like straight in, and then 7 to 12 are in wild card essentially.
Yeah.
So I could see them being 7th, 8th, maybe 6th, 5th.
Yeah.
Marvel, I guess, will be playing behind Fissure, or he'll specialize in a couple maps on what
Orisa.
main tank is Fissure. Yeah, Orisa, I guess.
Maybe Hammond.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about Hammond, that he's going to be in the game, and the Torb rework's going to be in the game too.
Maybe Marvel will be a Torb one trick. Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah,
anything's possible when you believe.
This honestly just kind of like rounds out the team a lot more, and that's good.
So I wouldn't really expect anything from them.
Yeah,
they've got
at least not for a while.
Like they might sign some 2-way contracts. I don't know if they even have an academy team.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but maybe they make a couple more announcements. But I figure it's just like, hey, here's some backups, or this is our team, and maybe we'll sign some people throughout the season. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah. Oh, so it looks like they're trying to create one for season 3 of Contenders.
An academy team?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be a good idea.
Yeah. I feel like every team should probably have one at this point.
Honestly, there's some predictions going around saying that Contenders will eventually kind of become more of a like tier 2 scene, but in between like Overwatch League and tier 2, there will be just an academy thing that's just academy teams. So that'd be interesting.
That's what every other league has.
Yeah. So that would be cool. On to the next.
Yeah. Hotba got traded to Guangzhou. Did I say that right at all?
I don't know.
We don't know what for or who for, so probably not for a player, likely for money.
Yeah.
But it does say trade in here, which is strange.
It does say trade alert.
And they usually say transfer if it's for money.
Yeah. So I'm guessing. Yeah, but who would Guangzhou have given them to? Yeah, it would. Yeah, I guess it would have just been for money.
Yeah, unless they traded like an unsigned player or the rights to
unless it was like,
player.
Hey, this person's really excited to join our team, but we're just gonna pawn him off to you now.
Who's rumored to be on Guangzhou?
A lot of people.
Let me check. So we've got. Oh yeah, Guangzhou is the one team where it's like they don't really have big names. They have Crystal, Happy, Rio, Chara, Eileen, Wanje, Lee, and Shu. That's interesting.
I'm assuming it's just for money.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a trade if you haven't really signed someone yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this is cool. Good for Hotba. It's kind of funny because at the end of the season, Philly was playing a lot of Hotba and only a little bit of Poco. And then in the grand finals, they were like, let's play some Poco. And he popped off like crazy. And they're like, okay, we'll keep Poco.
Yeah. But we also know the Guangzhou Twitter account now.
Yeah.
So that's good. Didn't know that before.
It's owl_team JZ. Or if you're American, Z.
Yeah.
Honestly, I usually say Z.
Me too. It's just so much easier.
I only say Z when I'm talking about the musical artist.
Oh yeah.
Who, by the way,
how often do you talk
funny
about
transition, plays a lot of Overwatch. Apparently, he's been posting a bunch of play of the games on his Twitter, and a lot of teams have been joking about signing him. And
they should.
And they were
maybe sign him for the halftime show.
They were literally like, at Los Angeles Valiant could use a hit scan because he was playing Widow. So it was like, what if LA Valiant literally signed to Zed? That would be ridiculous. Man, you're straight faced right now. You're not even.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading something.
I kept saying things that didn't matter, trying to get you to go, yeah.
I'm sorry. I zone out a lot because
the nice thing is
I have ADHD.
And
very good.
And you have, sleep apnea. You don't have that. You have awake apnea. Anyway, I'm glad the can't breathe or something. I'm glad the audience could be with me for that pain and awkwardness that whole time. Not only that, but also when I was trying to say the sentences I'm saying now, but you were busy going. So that was also very awkward.
I need to put some Gorilla Glue in my coffee. No, I need to.
What?
That's not what it's called.
You want to put glue in your coffee?
A Flex Seal my insides. What if I put Flex Seal on bread and then ate the bread?
If you Flex Seal the wall of your stomach,
you'll
never have to poop again.
Maybe I could become. Oh no, I'd get fat.
You'd also explode, and probably
like that girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's the one. Anyway, Hotba to Guangzhou. Honestly, good. There's something on my face.
Maybe it's ugly.
Wow, dude. Maybe there might be some ugly on my face.
Krillin. He's on London. I don't know. He was a pretty much unknown player before they signed him. Yeah. But he's good. Like, he's very good. He just wasn't popping off.
Reading somewhere that he is the one of, if not the youngest players to get signed.
October 28th, 2000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's 17.
He's 17.
And what is this? Wikipedia says his signature heroes are Zen and Anna. And before, he played on Crusher in Open Divisions for Korea Season 2. This might not have been updated recently. I don't know. But from everything I've read, he likes to pop off.
He is
And apparently, he could start a couple games over Bedosian.
Oh, really?
Or play a couple maps over Bedosian. Like, he's not going to be a full red shirt, not playing a lot.
Yeah.
Or ever. He's not going to be like Mendo.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, we need an Ana, let's bring in Krillin. We need a Zen, let's bring in Bedosian or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's just a map specialty thing, or Bedosian does some, and Krillin does some. But it makes me excited to have some young blood in the league.
That's the creepiest way to say that.
And also, I saw something that said, London Spitfire just really committing to that bowl cut meta. Because they all have bowl cuts. Every one of them.
Do you think they're hype beasts too?
Oh, Gesture is. Anyway,
who's the biggest? Gesture's the biggest hype.
Gesture's the biggest hype beast in the league.
But who's the second?
Probably Baby Bay.
No, on London, I mean.
Oh, on London?
Prophet?
I'd say Bedosian is probably the second hype beast. Maybe, no, not Birdring. I don't think Birdring's much of a hype beast.
No.
It's probably Bedosian.
I see Prophet wearing some Yeezys.
Okay, maybe Prophet's third then. But no one in the league beats Gesture.
No.
Anyway, Krillin to...
Gesture's approximate total earnings on Wikipedia are 200...
Profits or Gestures?
Gestures. Approximate total earnings are $234,000.
That's pretty good.
You can be a hype beast with that kind of money.
You can be a hype beast with that kind of money.
Baby bye.
So
anyway,
Krillin to London. I'm excited about that. London is kind of like the team that I forget that I like, and then I'm like, you know what, I like them.
Yeah.
I got one of their skins in the game. As soon as Hammond came out, I bought the London Spitfire skin for Hammond.
It looks like some fruit you shouldn't eat. Or some sort of
It looks like a blueberry that you left in the fridge, not in a container or package, and it just got moist and gross and iced.
Yeah.
And now there's some orange stuff on it.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, I don't even eat oranges. My vitamin C's terrible. Anyway. Soon, 2 other people leave Los Angeles Valiant. And those 2 other people are Gunba and daemoN.
When I first read this, I thought it was daemoN from Shanghai. And I was like, wait, did LA Valiant sign daemoN and then trade him away?
Mm-hmm. But no.
I'm assuming daemoN is on their
coaching staff.
As coaching staff, okay.
And then Gunba was too. But Gunba's already Gunba is the assistant coach for Boston, and he's also the head coach for Australia.
Oh.
In fact. Didn't know that, did you?
So idiot. The reason these two things are these two pictures are separate, I'm assuming, is because it was like Soon and daemoN bye, and then Gunba was like
maybe listen
good
to
luck
this
on your next
theory.
Thing.
Okay. daemoN was the assistant coach for Los Angeles Valiant. He was also the head coach for the French World Cup team.
Like this year's?
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
And if you didn't know, Soon
is French.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the French Overwatch League or Overwatch World Cup team.
So maybe.
I think it's more of a definitely.
We're gonna say maybe. daemoN and Soon are both going to the Paris team.
I'm going to go with a definitely on that. Trust me as your source. That's happening. 100% confirmed. It's set in stone, written on paper, knock on wood.
Now, when analyzing this situation, you have to take into account all your resources. And who's the biggest, bestest resource than my good friend, King Michael, King_Michael, of Kongura, the second best tracer in the world. Who says LA Valiant didn't win the bidding war for Decay. Ooh, yikes.
That's a major yikes.
$300,000.
Because there were some rumors that we've talked about in previous episodes where it was like they're getting rid of Soon because they know they're getting Decay.
Yeah.
But they didn't get Decay.
So that's a yikes at this point.
And now Soon is gone.
Which is what Michael says after they didn't get Decay. Their current DPS rotation stands as Agilities, KSF, and Bunny. This sounds decent, but I see a hole when it comes to fit scan.
Hit scan?
We'll see if they can sign anyone to fit that role.
Now, here's the thing. I do think big hole. I do also think people are underestimating Bunny a little bit. Because he has been apparently popping off on Widow on stream a lot.
And grinding some Sombra.
Yeah. So
will he be Soon level? We're yet to see. I don't know if we're yet to see makes any sense when you say it out loud.
Here's what I want to see. You ready for this? We're going to go to the All-Star weekend in between stages 2 and 3. There's going to be a Widow. There's going to be a Widow 1v1 tournament, and Bunny is going to face off against Soon, and Bunny's going to kill him, and then Soon's going to be like, what? And then everyone's going to be like, whoa, we underestimated Bunny. Hot take.
Yeah, or they just go out and sign someone. Like Zachary cool. or
Logix. Or
I don't see people.
Or IDDQD.
I don't think they sign him.
I also, yeah.
I don't see why people keep throwing Zachary into the mix because I don't even know if he can get out of his Fusion University contract or if that's like a thing.
Why?
Like he's still on a team.
Yeah.
So, and he hasn't been released from that team
Yet.
So it's kind of like we don't really know what his status is.
Yeah, but other contenders teams have released players and then they get signed.
But he hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, not yet. There's still time.
So people are just going, Zachary forehead. Look at this. You need a hit scan, pick Zachary. Every team takes Zachary.
It would be very strange if Zachary didn't get signed because he's been like the most hyped up boy.
Mm-hmm. I could, like, Logix makes a little more sense to me. Just because, like, he's good at Widow. Yeah. And he seems like he could fit in here pretty well. And then Bunny can focus on Tracer. And
I'm hot take. Not really a hot take. LA Valiant, I'm just going to say it, missing a little bit of personality because the only real personality or like kind of that kind of thing that they have is lol, in and out. And that thing only came because of like a bad management decision where it was like, hey, let's post a video of us ripping one of our players apart.
Specifically agilities.
Yeah.
Who then turned around to be
one of the
cornerstones of their DPS.
So, and I think genuinely, even though it was still weak personality-wise, they have Custo, which helps a lot, and Kareev. But losing Soon is like huge on that.
Yeah.
And people love Mr. Logix. They love to thank Mr. Logix.
Well, it's true.
So I think Logix would be a good pick. I also think Zachary, I know like he's not released yet, but I think Zachary would be a good pickup for them because obviously he's like one of the biggest personalities in the contenders scene.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just from my point of view kind of thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Anyway. Valiant's got to do something here.
Yeah. Now, that was all the news, all the big news, the goody newsy news.
Boy news.
And now we're going to kind of switch into a bit of an opinion bit where Calder and
Boy and girl news. I'm sorry.
Boy and girl news. And other. So we're now going to go into a bit of an opinion bit where we're going to talk about opinions on which teams we think are going to disappoint, or not teams we think are going to disappoint, but teams that we're concerned about, and then also teams that we are excited for.
We're doing the classic 2-2 for each.
Classic 2-2, there's got to be balance.
I've got 2. We didn't pick the same ones because that's fucking lame, boys.
To clarify, 2 of us, we each have 2 categories, and in each of those categories we have 2 teams, and the 2 categories are excited for and worried about. We're going to do worried about first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, do you do one of your worried about teams?
Here's a hot take. I know everyone's like, oh, we're so excited for this season because Runaway's going to be... But here's the thing. How do we know that they're actually going to do that well in the league?
Because they're really good.
But they won Korean contenders, which is good.
And then they won against Team Korea.
But do you really think Team Korea was trying that hard in a show match?
I don't think they were trying that hard in a show match, but they did also still beat Team Korea, the best of Korea. Which, by the way, Korea is the best esports country in the world, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyway, I'm just going to let you say your thing now without me interrupting anymore.
Anyway, I'm just worried that we're going to hype up Runaway and be like, oh my god, they're so good, guys. Oh, they're so good. They're going to be so good. Vancouver's going to win it all. Pog forehead, just put Runaway on your team. Yeah. And then they're just going to come in and be not the worst team. They're not going to go 0-28. But they might not be the best team. They could be middle of the wild card.
Also, to clarify, because I don't think you said it yet, this is assuming that they're all going to be on the same team on Vancouver.
Oh yeah, this is assuming all the leaks are true.
Because there is a possibility that they're all split up and they're going to different teams and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. So assuming that Runaway all goes to Vancouver, there's a chance that they kind of fall flat.
Yeah.
And in a 28-game season, even if you get it together by the 10th game, you're kind of screwed. Yeah. Like if they go,
that is weird. It is interesting that this season losses are gonna mean a lot more.
Like if you go 7-3, you're kind of like you have to make the wild card. You're likely not gonna come back from that.
Last season, it was like whenever Houston would lose a match, I'd be like, "We'll get the next one." Mm-hmm. But like this season, it'll be like crap.
But it'll make watching the games more intense, which I'm excited
exactly.
about.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
I'm so excited to see my number one, as Adam says, my number one seeded San Francisco Shock take it home.
Here's the thing: I don't like it when you. Anyway, so I disagree for the most part with you. I do agree that hype might end up biting them in the butt a little bit. Especially since they're going to have probably different management, almost definitely different management. So that could, I don't know, screw them up a little bit. But I still think they're going to be good.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're going to be last. Just clarifying here. Anyway.
Now, I'll say one of mine. We just talked about them. The LA Valiant. I'm a little concerned about them. Like I said, because... soon leaving. What is? Oh my gosh, you looked scared.
I almost died.
Soon leaving is a big deal. He was one of the faces of the team. He was also one of the best boys on the team.
To clarify, players is what Adam means by boys.
Yeah,
because girls can play too.
But there aren't any girls on LA Valiant.
Not yet.
Okay. Cool.
I got some rumors, boys. Michael tweeted, said, "Look at this. This girl going to the Valiant." And I said, "No. Soon to be seen."
So yeah. I'm just concerned about Valiant because they're missing one of their star players, but they're also missing one of their star personalities. So LA Valiant is they're kind of missing personality, and they're missing a big skill gap where hit scans are. And like the thing is, yes, they have agilities. People like him because he's really good, but he's very deadpan. People like Space because he's charismatic and young, cool, little young buck boy. But also, he can be a little deadpan too. He's a little quiet. Custa, he's likable. He's probably right now the face of the team. I'd say
he's definitely the face of Australian Overwatch.
Yeah.
Actually, he's kind of become the face of Overwatch in general over the summer.
Yeah.
Like, Jake hasn't been too active, and with all the California
he's been
Cup
casting,
stuff,
right?
Yeah,
he's been I'm saying, like...
I guess he has, yeah.
No, I'm not saying that's a reason Jake is more prominent. I'm saying he's just been casting.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Kareev people like, and he's a big memer on Twitter, but like in person. Here's the thing. I do think Valiant would be a lot more likable if the league kind of upped their personality game, where it was like talk to players more often, show player reactions more often, do that kind of thing. Like enter team comms more often. That would help a lot. Because right now it's just like, hey, it's this guy. We know him because he's good at this hero. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you are slightly over-exaggerating the need for personality.
I don't think so.
Because like they can not be outwardly personable and excited all the time, but then still do well.
This is actually a large portion of a paper that I submitted to one of my college English classes for. I submitted a paper about what makes an Overwatch League team attractive to fans. And the 3 points I hit were branding, skill, and personality. And personality, for me, was the biggest one. Because, like, Shanghai Dragons, they didn't win a single game. But they have one of the most passionate fan bases in the league because everyone's like, we love these little kids who can't win a single game.
But that's not going to affect their playtime. Or not their playtime, like their results.
No. I didn't put... Here's the thing. I'm saying I'm worried about the Valiant. I'm a little worried about them because they don't have a good hit scan. Yeah. But I'm mostly worried about them as, like, I guess branding wise. This isn't necessarily a skill wise. Bring in more fans other than just like, I live in LA. How are they going to bring in more fans?
Look at us. We live in a house here.
I live in a 1-bedroom apartment in this smoggy town.
It's filled with smog. We're all going to die.
And for some reason, I chose this team over the more fun team. That's just a hot take from me. That's just an opinion.
What's the more fun team?
Gladiators, who are also from LA.
Oh, yeah. Why are they more fun? What?
They've got Surefour and Bishu.
Transfer into Gladiators. That's Goose. One of the teams I'm worried about.
Okay, fine. Talk about Gladiators.
They signed Decay for what I'm assuming is over $300,000 or over that.
I do find it funny how the Valiant is in a tough spot because they lost Decay and they lost it to their LA rival.
Assuming that this is correct.
Yeah.
But, like, what... The effect that having one of the highest paid players in the league on your team is, that puts a lot of pressure on the management to play him over Surefour, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably.
And also on him just to do well. And then they also lost Fissure, who was kind of their anchor for the last 3 stages of the season.
And they got rid of iRemix, who was their backup tank. So they don't really have anyone.
So they have Roar, who is, assuming these are correct, going to be their main tank. But, like, how does that fit together? Because that's one of the most important pieces in a team. There's nothing really to worry about with their healers.
Here's the thing.
Maybe just picking an extra one up. But
here's the thing. I still think they should bring Panker up.
And just have them battle it out.
Yeah, and just see who performs better. And whoever doesn't perform better is the backup.
Yeah.
And because then there's also, like, obviously you don't want to fight your teammates, but, like,
it's good to have competition.
It's good to have competition. Like, Fact Fiction honestly made Muma better.
Yeah.
So,
and he's not been rumored on any teams, which is kind of surprising.
Which, honestly, or they should sign Fact Fiction.
Yeah.
He would fit Gladiators probably pretty well.
I completely forgot about Fact Fiction.
He really should be on a team. I don't know how he's not.
Yeah. Like, there's been nothing about him.
There's been a lot of players where when they were released, we were like, they'll get on a team. And they just haven't.
Yeah. Like Logic's Fact Fiction, Mistakes.
Shadowburn, although he's been rumored.
Yeah. Even though his stream description said, full-time streamer, by the way.
Yeah. Which was for sure a meme. But also Snow, like, we said Snow was going to definitely be on a team. And now I'm like, there's no way Snow is getting on a team. Although, didn't he get to a Contenders Trials team or something?
Maybe. I can search that up for you.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like they're trying to do a lot with this coming into this season.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's playing for Sky Foxes, Snow. Oh, yeah. So he's on a team.
Yep. But
I think, are they playing in this? Anyway.
Should I talk about my next disappointment, or not disappointment, but concern?
Worry. Yeah.
I'm concerned about Florida. We've talked about it before. Florida last season was just like, even though Shanghai lost all the games and Florida won some games, Florida for me was just like the bad team. I don't know. They just didn't impress ever. I was never like, Florida's really doing well.
Either.
I think there was like 1 week where we were like, wow, Florida beat such and such team.
There was a stage where they won like 2 games in 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah,
2 or 3 games in 2 weeks, and then everyone was like, "Oh wow, maybe they're like turning it over. Maybe they're gonna." No, but then they just went right back in the hole.
I think there was one stage where they beat Dallas in the standings, and it was like, are they good? It's like no. But yeah, I'm worried about them because they have Tavik and Apply on there, and then a full Korean roster. And at first I thought it was going to be like, sign a full Korean roster, still have Tavik there, get rid of Tavik later for either money or for another Korean player. Then they signed Apply for on a 2-way contract, but they signed Apply. Mm-hmm. So it's like, so you're still signing people who aren't Korean, but you pretty much only have Koreans? Very strange and weird, and I don't get it. Yeah.
There's this fear I always have with Florida teams in general, where it's like, you're just gonna mess this up, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a Florida team, except for when LeBron James was, like, I'm talking in every sport, when LeBron James was on the Heat, where I was like, oh wow, they actually like did something right.
I thought the team was called the Florida Panthers.
No, that's hockey.
Florida Jaguars?
Jacksonville Jaguars is football.
Jeremy
Lin?
Anyway, so yeah, Florida, I don't know.
Miami Jeremy.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The only thing that people were getting hyped for Florida for next season was color and logo changes, and they said they're not happening.
Yeah. Didn't they get denied?
Yeah.
Even though they look like McDonald's. Anyway.
I'm wondering how they're going to, if they are going to change or update or make new team skins for in-game to buy.
What do you mean?
Like, if people have bought a bunch of skins and then it's just all the same ones, and it's like, but I got all the ones I wanted already.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you buy like 2 from new expansion teams and you're like, I still don't. I'm done.
Yeah. They might have like...
Or I guess that could be like the benefit of, oh, you were here for season 1 and you bought all these things. Now you have enough extra tokens at the end where you can get the all-star skins for whatever.
It could be they update the skins to not have the like inaugural season patch on them, because I believe they have that on them.
Maybe. Or they just add away skins. And then people can do that.
That could be good. I already have a couple.
I do too. How much did you spend for your away skins?
Doesn't matter.
How much did you spend for just real quick?
And then to not watch the all access pass view because it sucked.
Yeah.
$45.
I spent 12. Nope, 12 actually.
Oh wow, that's a better deal. Maybe
I spent 12. How much less is that? That's a lot less. And quick question: in game, do you have the exclusive Lucio emote?
No.
Oh, I do. That's funny.
I'm not paying $12.
You've got to contact them. You've got to contact them and be like, "Why don't I have it?"
Yeah,
because I have it. You should have it. Anyway, let's get into teams we're excited for. End on a high note.
My first team, we've got Boston.
Whoa.
Now here's why I like Boston boys and girls, obviously, because maybe a girl watches this.
Or other. Although I will say this, you got to stop saying "or girls." Because you saying that shows that you were thinking about it, which makes it worse. So just say your thing, you know?
They're picking up players that are kind of weird. Like, you look at them and you're like, why why are you getting them? Like color hex. You don't like
Peak SR of 4,200.
I know, but you wouldn't look at him and be like, "That boy's definitely got to be in there." Blase makes a little more sense. He was on Gladiators Legion. Should I just keep holding that note until I figure it out? But I'm like 99% sure he was on Gladiators Legion. Yeah, he was.
I like how you just added 10 seconds to the podcast so you could go, yeah.
Well, because I had to look him up.
Okay.
And Blase's good. So it looks like they're building a pretty solid DPS line. Their tank line's one of the more underrated ones in the league.
Yeah.
Notes like a top 5 diva. Gamsu is
very
probably
good.
Yeah, probably top 5 main tank last season. And Kellex, maybe they could use some upgrading in the support, but Kellex and Aimgod are pretty good.
Yeah, Kellex and Aimgod are good enough.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like
mean, I'm not saying
like,
they're bad.
Good.
They're not like
trash.
They're not like Ark and Jonak.
That's
but they're
true. Well, no one's like Ark and Jonak. But I will say Boston is. They always felt kind of empty last year.
Yeah.
Where it was like, wow, they're doing well, but I don't know. They just felt like a weird team. They felt weird. And it looks like they're finally gonna kind of like round it out and like gonna be a bit more full, you know.
I feel like they're gonna be a sneaky good, low, like maybe 6 seed, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Good call. Good call.
Anyway, your turn. Oh, what's this team that you have there that you're excited for? That's crazy.
I have a little team here that I'm a tad bit excited for. And if you told my past self in the early days of season 1, Adam, you're going to be most excited for the San Francisco Shock in season 2, I'd tell you, kill yourself. I'm kidding. I looked at myself in the friggin' monitor, and I was
like, you were like, you.
No, I was like, am I gonna say this joke? So I apologize. That wasn't even funny. That was just so stupid.
You should apologize.
I'm very sorry.
To talk about this when the podcast is over, because I think you're done.
I'm not even apologizing because I think it offended someone. I'm apologizing because it just wasn't funny. Like, that was offensively unfunny, not offensive, you know what I mean? Anyway, the point is, I never thought that I'd be excited for San Francisco Shock, especially since I hate Calder and like they're his team. All
right.
Don't worry. Once the podcast's over, I'll tell you I love you or something. But I'm excited for San Francisco Shock because they have a really strong entire lineup.
Yeah. And they've got I'm sorry.
I was going to say Architect.
Please, Master.
Very good. Rascal, very good. Baby Bay,
Just tell me when you want me to talk.
Okay, I will. Well, not then. Not at that point.
Did you get a notch in your eyebrow?
No, that's just how I hate it. There we go. It's gone. No, it's not.
Oh, yikes.
Got it.
Stop doing visual gags on an audio podcast.
Are you kidding me, Mr. Visual Gag?
That was mean.
What?
Wow.
You're still... remember when you said, let me know when to talk, and then you only talked? Architect, very good. Rascal, very good. Baby Bay, very good. Probably going to ride the bench. Sinatra, very good. Smurf, apparently very good. I don't know enough about Smurf to be like...
I've heard about him.
Super, very good, but needs some pushing from Smurf to be better. Choi Hyobin, very good. Nevix, whenever he plays, he's very good, and people just forget.
He's very consistently good enough, you know? Like, he does his job, does everything he needs to do, but he's not hitting 3-person pogo bomb.
I feel like
stuff like that.
I feel like Nevix might be their kind of secret weapon a little bit. I think they should.
Yeah.
Where
he's
they'll
kind
be
of like It's like, hey, San Francisco's hitting some rough waves right now. Let's throw that Nevix anchor down there and just hold us in place, boys.
That was good. I liked that.
You know?
Yeah. Also, they've got Moth, Violet, and Sleepy support line. Whoa, dude.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. There's not a single bit in here where I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is a strong boy. And
I'm excited.
You kept telling me throughout all of season 1, they're just getting ready for season 2. This isn't their season. They're getting ready for season 2. And I kept going, you're stupid, dumb idiot, Calder. I hate you. And then I see this and I'm like, shoot, he was right.
It's kind of obvious when 2 of their best players didn't play for half the first season. Sinatra and Super weren't even there for like half the season. And
also,
then everyone
Architect
else was like 20 years old. And
also,
Architect joined.
And Rascal is just joining now.
Mm-hmm. And Choi Hyobin joined later.
Yep.
So like,
and Moth joined later.
Yeah, he did. I forget that sometimes.
Used to be Dak.
Yep.
You remember Dak?
I think so.
Anyway, San Francisco just looks so full. Like a full tummy, a full belly. They look so good.
I do think they have the most players on their roster out of anyone right now. I believe.
Well.
They've got 11 people, and it doesn't look like anyone else has.
Maybe that's why 11. They look so impressive, because they actually have a full team, pretty much.
Yeah.
But anyway, they have a really good-looking full team. Not just a full team, but they've got a good-looking full team.
It's not like Shanghai last year.
I think San Francisco is going to be a big old boy, oh boy, in the big time. You know what I mean?
Number 1 in the league?
No.
Oh.
I think they could be in contention. I think they will be in the finals, in the playoffs. For sure in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
For sure in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Definitely in the playoffs, I'm going to say.
You know who else looks like they're going to be definitely in the playoffs?
Who?
The Seoul team that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Tell me more about it.
Because their DPS line, a little scarce.
A little scarce.
Gonna say that. They've only got Fleta and Munchkin. But you can add people to that. Obviously, get Zachary, just like every other team needs to do. That's not true. I don't want them to get Zachary. Like, their DPS lines doesn't have a lot of people on it. But then you look at the tank line and all the competition within the tank line and the support line, and you're like, ooh, yikes. And then you add Fled onto that, who pops off. Munchkin, very good tracer. I haven't really seen him play anything else.
That's what's a little concerning, is it's literally, it's pretty much, don't mean to be a
Widow Tracer all the time.
It's pretty much a Widow Tracer.
So they're going to need a projectile or some sort of like utility support player who can just play like Sombra, Doomfist, if that's still in the meta. Here's the thing. We're still like 3 months out from the season.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks there's going to be a hero at BlizzCon. So, like, the meta is going to change. And Roadhog's getting buffed next week.
Yeah.
I think that's when his changes hit the PTR. Or I guess this week, because we're recording this for Monday. But
yep. That sounded so upset.
So angry.
That sounded so angry.
But I don't know. This team just looks good and it looks full. Toby, Jesse, Ryu Jae-hong. That's a great support lineup. And then having Fissure have someone to compete with, and Zunba and Michelle have to compete with each other.
Yeah.
It just looks good. It's just what I want.
All they need is a couple more DPS, honestly. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, they just need some more DPS. That's literally it. They look like a team that's not going to disappoint.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
And they switched their whole coaching staff pretty much. So we're not going to fall apart like we did last year, are we, boys?
No.
And you added an MVP candidate main tank.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, boys. We're looking pretty good here. I don't know.
Although, just on a side note,
Mm-hmm.
I realized after the MVP thing was announced, I was like, man, if it was any of the other people we were talking about maybe getting it, I would have been like, they deserve it, but like Jonak probably should have gotten it.
Yeah. The weird thing about Jonak getting it is like if you look at his stats, he doesn't like pop out, you know? But then you watch the game and you're like, oh, he's killing everything.
Yeah.
He kills literally everything.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just because
if you look at the right stats, he does pop out. Because it's like all of the damage healers do, he does like 80% of it across the league.
Yeah.
That's not like an exact stat. I just pulled that out of my butt, but there was something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was all of the all of the Zen stats.
Mm-hmm. He popped out on those.
Go up like 11% or go down 11% when you remove Jonak.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Except healing done. Which goes up 1%.
Anyway, he's not like you look at the stats and you're like, oh, but then you look at the game and you're like, oh, okay.
He was the MVP of the season though.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is he's the only person who could have won where I wouldn't have been like, eh.
Yeah.
So
if anyone else won, I would have been, eh.
If Fisher won, I would have been like, yeah. Jake wasn't going to win MVP, Calder.
You got a vote. Muma.
The other team that I'm excited for, and the last thing before we wrap it up, is I'm excited for Paris.
DC Dick Choppers?
No.
You should tweet Kate.
Why do you keep calling them DC Dick Chompers? It's the Washington Dick Chompers. Because it's.
I'm sorry. I like DC Dick Chompers. I like alliteration, baby.
I don't know why.
You should tweet that at Kate Mitchell, and be like, "Hey, Kate, Dick Choppers," or just don't even say, "Hey, Kate." Just say Dick Chompers ?
Okay. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Well, fine.
Only if we can do it from the Broverwatch Twitter.
Ooh, let's start some fire, boy.
No, it's not gonna happen. I'm excited for Paris because I think they have a good roster. If it's the roster that is rumored, of course, that's with all.
And it's also exciting that they're pretty much all. No, they're all European.
Yeah.
So that's something you don't really see.
The roster is Nico, Soon.
Who's that? Wait, who's?
That's a joke from like episode 3 of our friggin' show.
Who's Nico?
Now I have to explain. Just for context, Calder didn't. Neither of us knew who Nico was, and people got upset that we didn't know who Nico was. Anyway, Nico, Soon, Danye, Shadowburn, LH Cloudy, Ben Best, Fincy, Cruz, and Hype.
I guess. Are you hyped?
I'm hyped. This is very good. Good DPS line. Great DPS line. Good tank line. Good heal line.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
the strength is obviously the DPS.
Yeah.
But
Ben Best, very good.
Mm-hmm. LH Cloudy, very good. Fincy, very good. So gonna be a lot of competition there.
So I think Paris is looking good, and I feel like just the fact that they're a fully European team will add a lot to the synergy of the team.
Mm-hmm. And then there's allegedly daemoN, who we confirmed is going to Paris in this episode.
Yep.
The coach from the Valiant.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
So that could help, because, you know. But what if Soon goes in there and he goes, Lycian boys. That's not French. Hello. No, that's Russian. Hey, what? Nope, that's Italian. I can't do a French accent. But what if Soon goes in there and he's like,
Je ne peux lire.
And he does this, and he goes,
there is no.
He goes, hey, I'm better than all of you combined.
Why? What are you proposing right now? That Soon's gonna be a jerk.
Soon goes in and he goes.
Also, how many times did I tell you not to change the game during the podcast? Stupid. I work so hard to get our levels right, and then you just ruin everything by changing the game.
Yeah, that's my job.
Can you talk for a second?
Hello.
Okay, we're fine still. Never do that again. Not just because of the podcast, but also because I hate it. Anyway,
We
those are
should
the
sorta-
teams we are worried and excited for.
Can we do an ASMR episode?
Nope, and we're just in general really excited for the next season, and we're also just very excited for
I don't
World
wanna
Cup,
wait
which is coming up. Calder and I are actually going to be watching the World Cup together, so we're going to have a unique perspective where
We watched it.
we both watch every game. We're going to watch Calder. We're going to watch every game.
Yeah. My girlfriend comes down. She says, Calder, come on. You haven't eaten in years, baby. And I just say, back off, bitch.
Your
never
girlfriend
call her.
does not call you baby. She's never called you baby. She
No, she
maybe
hasn't.
calls you sir once. But other than that, it's just Mr. It's just Mr.
That's senior to you.
Mr. Calder, please let me out.
Mr. Calder, please make me food.
You don't know how to make food. I'm kidding. You made me a very nice sandwich and breakfast when I was over.
And then he didn't love me anyway.
No joke, dude. I'd never had mayonnaise or lettuce on a sandwich before I went to your
It's
place.
good.
And then I went to the grocery store and bought mayonnaise and lettuce, and now I have a sandwich with mayonnaise, lettuce, meat, cheese, on
I
it.
got ham, tomatoes, potatoes.
And it's very yummy.
I know it is. It gives a nice little texture.
Here's the thing. I never liked mayo because everyone was like, mayonnaise. You know what I mean?
But it's good.
But it's good as long as you're not literally spooning mayonnaise in your mouth.
Unless you're like, oh, I don't have any eggs. Let me eat this jar of mayonnaise.
You know what literally
Yeah.
made me like mayonnaise a little bit? I went
Literally
to
tell me right now.
I went to Wendy's, popular fast food chain, and I bought a Baconator. And I was like, I know there's bacon on here. I know there's cheese on here, and I know there's
By golly,
meat.
I know there's meat.
I know there's meat on. I know there's at least a little bit of meat on here. I know there's some beef. I know there's a little bit of bread. But what is this weird little thing I'm tasting? And by
What's this
golly, I open that bun and I see white juice. And I go, is that my mayonnaise? And it was.
Did you go up to the counter and be like, hello, Miss Lady. I was eating this beef, bacon, cheese, bread, burger, and I saw a little white juice on it. Now, could you please tell me what white juice this is, baby girl?
You know what this conversation is telling me?
What?
We gotta start doing our Boys at Large podcast again because we gotta get this out.
I know.
Because no one here is listening anymore. Hey, if you're still listening, type Mayo in the comments. Or tweet us saying hashtag Mayo. Anyway.
If you're still listening, punch me right in the fucking face.
Wow.
Do I have to mark this as explicit on Anchor now?
Yeah, you do. Literally the only explicit episode we have is the one you did by yourself. And it's honestly, it's the most polite you are in any episode is that episode.
Anyway.
We have fun on this podcast. We're going to wrap it up though.
Yell things at your face so that we get more traction on stuff. Follow us on Twitter at
the Broverwatch.
On Instagram at the Broverwatch.
The Broverwatch.
Check out our
website.
Weebs out.
www.thebroverwatch.com.
If you want to ever try Overwatch writing in contenders, just about the game in general, like meta stuff, maybe
Contenders,
meta
the meta, heroes, patch note, like
update, anything,
opinions.
Whatever comes to your mind, we'll let you type it down. And
well, we might let you type it down. Just send us a message and we'll get in a chit chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then we'll edit things for grammar first, because baby, grammar's not that easy. I can barely spell 1, 2, 3.
You can barely spell 1, 2, 3. Is that what you said?
Yeah. And I think that we said everything.
I think that's it.
Oh, I've had this beat
gosh.
invitational tournament in the background, and I saw a little Torbjorn.
Oh wow, cool.
Oh, ZP and Reinforce.
Reinforce.
Reinforce. Reinforce your pocket.
Rainforce. Anyway.
We said anyway at the same time, didn't we?
No, on my side, I said it way before you.
Soylent is an advertiser. Do you know what Soylent is?
Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to the Broverwatch podcast. I'm not going to let him answer that. Thank you for watching, everybody. We appreciate you very much, and we love you very much. Bye-bye. Say bye, Calder.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wave goodbye, Calder. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.